Hey YouTube, welcome to another video. I want to talk about this from the Batman movie, the Batmobile, um, and you know, there's a lot of things about this that are kind of um, there's a lot of I feel like in my personal opinion, there's a lot of pros to this McFarlane made vehicle as opposed to other vehicles that are out or coming out. Um, and let's talk about it. Um, I will say right away, I think the main takeaway from this vehicle, and I looked at it, I didn't see anything that mentioned this, but I don't think it has lights, which is like, you could look at it two ways. It could be a major disappointment. The lights would really bring this vehicle the life that it so desperately needs because it does need a little bit of life. It is a little. There's a little plain. As for a Batmobile, it's very. I would say it's the most plainest Batmobile of all time. But the lights would have made this. The red lights on it would have given this more life, which it's like, okay, it kind of makes you like, okay, at least it's a Batmobile, like it has red lights or whatever, and the engine starts and all that. But that is one way of looking at that. Or you could be like, well, maybe it would be more expensive if they added lights to it. So um, maybe they should have made an option like with lights or without lights, or maybe in the future they will have an option for this. I don't know how long McFarlane is going to have this license. Um, but either way, uh, even though it's probably the most plainest, unsophisticated Batmobile of all time, it does look really cool. Really has that like nighttime, tough guy aesthetic. Going back to the early '80s. Kind of like one of those old school movies with the good guy would pull up in one of these old school muscle cars. Um, which may be the reason why I like it, because I like kind of like those tough guy vehicles. But you know the so going back to it with the lights and stuff, I would say the number one thing about this thing, it's $89.99. I think no, here, in my personal opinion, I think it's actually not that expensive compared to other vehicles um, that other companies are dropping. Although it doesn't have like missiles or weapons, at least you can have the movie replica version of the vehicle, and 89. Um, I don't feel like for a vehicle like this, I've seen a lot worse. Going back to the Robbie Reyes um, Ghost Rider, Ghost Car, which didn't get funded. It was, because in one of the reasons probably why I didn't get funded, it was just way overpriced. And McFarlane is dropping vehicles like this. So I want to say that kind of sits well with me with this vehicle. And, being a McFarlane, who knows, at some point the price might drop. I've seen some vehicles drop, a substantial amount over time. So it may go up in price. McFarlane losing the DC license. Um, there may be issues with supply and demand, and eBay is, that is eBay's bread and butter. This vehicle could be out of stock, and at a later point in time, things may be better, and you may be feeling in a good mood, and you may really want this vehicle, but time has passed. So for $89.99, um, you know, it may or may not be a good investment. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, there's a lot of factors here, with this vehicle, and kind of almost what it's representing and leveraging here is like, McFarlane's like, here I'm presenting you with this vehicle for $89.99. We all know that I'm losing the license soon. Mattel may do a better job. It's anything's possible nowadays. All these toy makers are paying attention to social media. They're watching, they're learning, they're listening, they're paying attention. They're getting over their egos, and they're seeing what people like, what people don't like. They kind of know how to, learning how to appeal to people a little better. And so, Mattel might, what we might be laughing at McFarlane. There's also the McFarlane loyalist, that stand by McFarlane. And But this vehicle is really kind of like representing a lot. I think it's just like it's the main symbolic representation of this vehicle at this time is time. It's like, time for McFarlane is running out, and he's pulling out all these really cool vehicles and things, and going into the movies, pulling out all these things that people may want, or may right now may not want, but may want in the future. So um, I think $89.99, and it's coming in September, so it's not a super long wait. Um, I think, hey man, this is looking pretty cool. And then every time I think about that Ghost Rider from the Robbie Reyes, and I look at this, I'm like, man, this is, just put some flames on it. You get a Ghost Rider, or and boom, you're good. Like, even the Ramen Toys version, um, at this moment in time, I don't know how much that costs, but I believe it's more than um, $89.99. So, look, say what you will about McFarlane. You may hate him, you may love him, but there's definitely he's definitely cutting on some middle ground here. Um, you know, Again, I feel like the lights would have totally lifted this a ton, because people love their lights and their sounds and their vehicles. Um, but plain, straightforward wise, like what you're getting, this product, um, is looking pretty good. Like, I don't know, how the tires roll, and I know the door opens, you can put Batman in there. Um, but this is, and you can add to it, you can make it like a Punisher vehicle. I don't know how a 6-inch figure would fit in there, but maybe, you could like put some plastic in there to lift it up, so it's not sitting so low. um but I feel like this right now, this is like a really cool vehicle. Again, I don't know how it rolls on the ground, and all that, but aesthetically, um, it looks fantastic. And I just wanted to list the pros and the cons and the factors here, because um, you know like, from my perspective, the way that I'm looking at it is like, you know everything, right now things are just not good. But if ever anything, things turn around, and maybe the price goes down, or maybe $89 is not a lot of money. um I may be like, man, maybe I do have space for this vehicle. Maybe there's a lot you can do. You don't have to just only use Batman. There's a lot you can do. This is just like the typical tough guy kind of car. Um, there's a you can. It looks like you can, if you're into customizing and added guns into and stuff and like that into cars. Maybe even missiles in the back. Fire on the wheels, or fire treads, whatever, fire marks, fire effects. Um, there's just a lot you can do, um, you know, uh, picture wise, and, display wise, with this vehicle. Um, but yeah, guys, let me know what you think. You think this is cool? Is not cool? Leave a comment. Take care and have a good one, guys.